will you die for me? And she was like, yeah, yeah. He was like, no, 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 would you live for me? I thought he was going to get somewhere with that, but then he didn't like make that, I don't know, he didn't captivate that scene for me.
There was nothing to captivate.
He could have did a better speech. He could have had like a better, I don't know.
You can only do so much. Like the writers have
say, would you die for me?
You can only do so much.
Would you die for me? Would you live for me? No? Neither? All right, that's cool.
Yeah, she's in a state of
she's in a state of limbo.
He didn't have lines that stuck out, you know what I'm saying?
Like, honestly, there's nothing memorable about that Joker. I remember a lot about Heath Ledger Joker.
Like, even with Heath Ledger, like, my favorite scene, you know what I'm saying, in The Dark Knight was when he, you know, shooting, you know what I'm saying, down the street and everything. You know, you see Batman on the bike. And you give Batman that look like, you really didn't run me over? Like, you really just didn't run me over? And he turned like that. That's memorable right there. Like, Jared didn't have enough of screen time to have something memorable. Like, to be honest. All that I remember from that movie is him laying down in the circle of knives. You know,
I didn't remember that. Literally, the only thing I remember from that movie is him getting blown out of that freaking helicopter.
Oh, my favorite about Heath Ledger's Joker was that jail scene, like that whole thing where he's just talking shit to the cops, and then Batman shows up and he's just laughing and taking a beating and stuff, and then he tells Batman, like, laughing, I'm like, you have nothing to do with all your strength. And it's like, damn, like, you beating this man, he's just laughing. And then he was like, don't worry, I'm going to tell you where they are.
That's iconic of all Jokers.
Yeah.
Batman really does abuse him, and it does nothing. It does nothing ultimately.
He told that man, you have nothing to do with all your strength.
Yeah, like, he's really, I mean, a lot
of people telling the dude, you know, I've killed your friends. You know, guns are too quick. And you want to kill people slowly.
Which one of your friends were a coward.
Right. I know your friends better than you did. Would you like to know which ones were cowards? Like, what? Like, nigga. Yeah.
And for all Jared did prepping for this Joker, you know what I'm saying? Like, was it really worth it? There was a lot of, like, the part where he got the face burnt, like, that's not in the movie. You know what I'm saying? They showed that in the preview.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff was in the trailer that I didn't see in the movie, which I didn't like.
Listen, Jared Leto almost got his ass beat by, the name escapes me. Who's the woman who plays Waller again? Great actress. Her name escapes me.
Who?
The lady from How to Get Away with Murder, who played
Viola Davis.
Yes, there we go. He almost got his ass beat by her husband just to play a mediocre Joker.
Was it all worth?
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, because he was sending random gifts and stuff to everybody, and she was like, "Nah, I don't play that."
Understandably.
Condoms and dead rats and pig parts to beat him up.
Yeah, I mean, he probably did do a lot to get into it, and then he probably was like, "Okay, this is Joker. I'm gonna make sure I gotta live up to Heath Ledger."
But even then, even that stuff that he was doing, Joker doesn't do any of that stuff.
I don't know, but then I wish they would have went with this is Robin as Joker. I wish they would have went with that.
There's too many holes in that theory.
They could have made it work.
Nah, there's too many holes. This Joker was created by the Joker, so Jared would be Baby Joker.
That's what they could have did. Yeah,
because like the whole Robin thing, like you said, Funny. I believe you the one who said that his teeth are capped because Batman beat him to within like a brink of his life, and that's why Batman would never do that to a Robin. Batman would always try to find a way to save Robin.
That's because that Instagram photo that I seen, that contradicted like what I wanted, that theory, because originally I was thinking like the theory was, okay, you know, if this was the Robin that was Joker in the Batman Under the Red Hood, Joker like beat Robin damn near he beat him to death. So I was thinking like, okay, this Joker is Robin, and he's got the gold cap because the real Joker knocked out all his teeth.
I don't know, man. This is too much.
They were saying
and
that,
then plus,
you look at Batman v Superman, and you look at the suit, the Robin suit. There's 2 puncture moves over the shoulder.
Yeah.
You know,
but then okay, my thing is this. Robin when he becomes Joker, or Robin when he becomes Joker, or anything like that, he doesn't have the relationship with Harley Quinn that the original Joker has, which was
yeah.
And then plus they already put it in the Suicide Squad that this Joker created that Harley.
Right.
So it's over for all those theories.
They couldn't do that.
All those theories are done.
That would have been awesome.
I don't know how it is, right? She was a psychiatrist, right? How in the world did she learn how to fight so well?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, who knows? Did she do yoga in her spare time in the movie? I feel like I remembered that.
I don't know if that was yoga. I don't know what it was, bro. But she was like one of the best fighters, the squad.
Listen, I don't know that she was doing. She's a female, so she's naturally flexible. But then all the yoga and shit helps with her flexibility and athleticism, and that only helps in the fight.
I just talked to the DC movie, and they suck. DC, they just can't get it together.
I mean, at least, cause okay, so DC had the 3 Batman movies.
The Batman trilogy I actually liked. I didn't like the third. The third one was okay, and the first one I didn't like.
Yeah, the first one to me was, boring and lackluster. The second one was great. And I thought the third one was good, but it just didn't live up to the second one.
Yeah.
And then it just like,
I think
DC took a nosedive with Man of Steel, and then it got a little.
What they did was the third one.
I like with the third series in the Dark Knight trilogy is that Bane. He's great enough. He's great enough to stand alone by himself.
But in a Batman movie, you need more. Like in the second
Batman movie, I think they would have did Riddler. I think Riddler would have been the ultimate villain for Batman.
Yeah.
Or Penguin.
Penguin.
Yeah.
Would have been a good villain, but Riddler, I don't agree.
No, Riddler don't get enough of credit though. I really don't get enough credit for being a villain now.
Yeah, after playing these Arkham games.
And the things they could have did with the Riddler, Christopher Nolan could have did amazing things with the Riddler. Now you see what he did with the Joker. I mean, even Ra's al Ghul, you know what I'm saying? Like, even bringing him.
They messed Ra's al Ghul all the way up.
They messed him up, you know what I'm saying? Because there was no Lazarus Pit. You know what I'm saying? But he was still skilled. You know what I'm saying? He was still.
But he doesn't have the star power that the Ra's al Ghul in the series has. Like, the Ra's al Ghul in the series is a bad dude.
I'm a Liam Neeson fan, bro. I'm really a Liam Neeson fan. I think I don't know.
I'm not gonna blame Liam Neeson because it's just that they wrote him wrong. I don't think he did a bad job acting it out. I just thought the script for him was, in the words of Funny, played safe.
All right, how do y'all feel about Shia LaBeouf not being the role of GQ in Suicide Squad?
I would have minded it.
I gotta look. Who was GQ?
GQ was Rick Flagg's second in command. Which the role they said Shia said the role got pushed down, lowered in order to pick up Will. So basically, I think for what it's worth, it's good that Shia didn't get that role. For simple fact, he would have had little to no screen time. He would just been, Shia is a big star in his own right. You know what I'm saying?
He was a big star.
He's crazy.
He could be replaced as he was with the Transformer joints.
Oh, quick side note. A question for y'all. Do y'all know what was the most undertone consistency throughout all three Dark Knights?
The most undertone consistency?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know what that question is asked. But undertone consistency? I don't know. What?
No guesses, Dame?
You might have to fill us in on that one.
Was it the whole psychology, like the whole psychology of Batman, and like what he means to Gotham?
I mean, no, I thought that was pretty clear.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, what? I don't know. I'm lost.
It's nothing big. It's just that Scarecrow was in every one of those movies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was actually a big part in the first one.
Yeah,
a
and
very
the second
little
one.
part in the second one, and then in the third one, another small part. But he was consistently in the movies.
I like what the Dark Knight did, though, the series did, as far as they added villains who had never been in, on-screen live-action movies, except for Joker and Two-Face. They added Bane. They added
Bane's been done before.
Movies. Bane's been
Bane. But no, Bane was stupid though when he was with Poison Ivy.
I wish they would have did Bane like how they did him first, like with the venom and shit.
If they had a way to combine those two Banes, it would have been perfect.
Hold on, but Doc, they did do Bane with the venom. If you look at his mask in the front.
Nah, he's supposed to have all that extra still in the back.
But they saying, like, if you see when Batman hit that, you know what I'm saying, like, it kind of did something to him.
That wasn't because it's venom, though. That mask.
They said it was venom, though.
No, it wasn't. That mask is to hold back the pain he suffered inside the prison because he got scarred up there protecting the girl. Talia. Talia.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Tom Hardy said, I could be wrong. It may not have been Tom Hardy. But they said that's how they did the Venom.
Listen, I'm going by what they said in the movie. The mask was used to hold back the pain.
Bane's supposed to have like a backpack, the green tubes coming out of it.
The Bane.
Because Dave, remember, when he was in the prison, they scarred up his face, and they even covered it when the girl escaped. Then she came back and got him, and then that's when he put the mask on. And he kept telling people, if you take off the mask, it'll be painful. And then when Batman finally cut the mask and you hear the air coming out, he got very upset because he was in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And you could even see that he was disoriented while fighting.
I get you. I thought it was because it was venom in it. Like,
nah. Because think about it. If he cut the mask, why would he get stronger? Wouldn't he be losing venom? Why would he get stronger?
That's true.
Because this dude was punching holes and cylinders and shit.
Yeah, I wanted to see Bane with the venom and shit. And then one thing I didn't like too much about the third Dark Knight, like the second one, you got Joker, then they threw in Two-Face, and they had a little bit of Scarecrow in there. But they had a couple more villains. And with the third one, I think they should have had Bane as the main story.
They had Bane, they had Talia, they had Catwoman. Again, they had Scarecrow.
Oh, Catwoman was in there. That's right, I forgot.
So the villain count is about the same. The only
one
without a high villain count is probably the first one.
I don't know. I just seemed like, I don't know. I wanted more for this movie. Not Talia. I didn't care too much for Talia. She could have been left out.
They actually did her bad. They fucked her all the way up.
And Catwoman could have been, I don't know. Catwoman.
I like Catwoman.
The thing is, they tried to do a Nightfall storyline as far as with Bane, but they left out, Azrael, Batman, and then they have no Robin.
And how they were setting up that Robin was quarantined.
Yeah. What was with the ends? They was like, what?
Robin's name was not fucking Robin, yo.
Yeah, that was some bullshit. Talking about so he's got a special place.
You should use your real name more. I like your real
What?
name, Robin. Like, yo, bitch, if you don't get out of his face.
Like, what kind of shameless, horrible plug is this?
Bruce telling him, Batman said, if you want to save people, you have to wear a mask.
And then mind you, Batman's retired at this point. The fuck you being Robin for?
Yeah.
Yo,
yeah, that's true.
The big question is, did Batman die at the end of the movie? Because like you said, he died.
He didn't. You saw him.
That was Alfred. No. They said that was Alfred imagining him there.
But at the same time, remember at the end of the movie, Fox, he was going to figure out how he could have fixed the autopilot, and they said it was fixed, and that Bruce signed off on it.
Right.
I don't know. It's like one movie ending, kind of like that bothers me. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of like Inception a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I think he survived because, like I said, Fox, he went to go check it out, and then let's not forget that wouldn't be the first time Batman, faked his own death.
True.
All right, and plus, since the second movie, Batman has been trying to pass the mantle on.
So how about this, right? Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton. Out of those three, and I don't want to put Clooney in there. Clooney had the suit with the nipples, man. I don't want to put him in there like. That was an insult to Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you put nipples in the house out of a suit, bro? Like, yeah, nah. So
as much slack as that movie gets, whether it be for the acting or the inaccuracies, I besides the nipples, I still enjoyed the movie.
That was the one with
Clooney was a good Bruce. Clooney was a real good Bruce.
Yeah, he was a good Bruce.
That was the one with not Scarface, with Poison Ivy, Bane, and Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good Mr. Freeze.
That nigga was hilarious. All the damn Freeze jokes he had, it was hilarious. I appreciated it.
I thought he was a pretty good Mr. Freeze, though.
Right, have a nice day. He'll ride out.
And plus, he had a black woman.
So you don't get enough credit for being a good Bruce. Like, I think if they take
just like Toby don't get enough credit for being a good Peter.
Yeah. The movie. The movie's called Batman Spider-Man. I don't care about no Peter Parker. He don't even need to be in the movie.
Oh my God.
I just want to see just the act. I get it. They want to build the storyline, but you get one movie to do that, and you get one pass for a long-winded ass storyline with love story in the background.
I just can't go through Uncle Ben dying again. I'm glad, the Civil War, it seems like Uncle Ben is already dead. It seems like he's already dead. So
thank God. But not
if I see this man get shot or robbed one more, Marvel don't like this nigga for some reason.
I hated how in the third Spider-Man they had to bring him back again to shoot him just so they could explain Sandman
connection. They shot him in slow motion too.
They could have just let Sandman be his own villain.
Uncle Ben said he tired of dying, man. Every movie he died, he got to relive his death.
Even though I like the Sandman that Spider-Man 3 had.
Yeah, I like Sandman. I like Spider-Man 3, but it was like barely any action in there. We got to watch the whole scene of him dancing in a club, stomping on tables and shit.
See, that was a bad Peter. That's when Toby started going downhill as Peter.
What the fuck is he doing?
They ruined Venom for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Over Grace is one of the.
Venom is supposed to be a lot more. Venom's supposed to be
bigger.
bulky.
Yeah, Venom's supposed to be bulky and
they got him looking like a crackhead Spider-Man.
Hopefully could have been a good Carnage for his build, because Carnage is slim. You know what I'm saying? He ain't that big and bulky.
Yo, I heard there's a Venom movie coming out.
If there is
that still coming out?
I don't think so. But because think about it, why? They don't even have their Spider-Man set up all the way.
Oh, they doing a different Spider-Man?
Yeah, the Civil War Spider-Man now.
Oh, they use it. Oh, so this Venom. Well, who's making this Venom? Marvel is?
Probably, yeah, because Marvel has the rights to Venom.
Nah, but look at this though.
I can see it.
Guardians of the Galaxy is set up the Venom movie because there's actually a planet of symbiotes. So they still could possibly do a Venom movie. You know,
I don't think that's coming anytime soon because they got to get Spider-Man all worked out. And you know the first villain they got to introduce is Green Goblin. And they always introduce Green Goblin first. That's his main villain.
Oh, God. I don't want to see Green Goblin again.
No,
I liked the first Green Goblin. The first Green Goblin was good.
I did too, but after so many movies, it's like, yo, he got other villains. Like, they can't keep doing. Like, one thing I didn't like about these Arkham video games is every game got Joker as like pretty much somewhat of the main plot. Like, all right, I get it. You know, Joker's cool, but you know, we want something else.
Homecoming is introducing Vulture.
That'll be interesting.
Wait, you said Shocker?
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm sorry, Jamie Foxx, he cool and everything, but they fuck.
Like,
yeah, I'm thinking of my fault.
Electro.
Yeah, but yeah, they fucked up Electro.
Big time.
I confused Shocker and Electro for, but yeah, they ruined Electro.
I appreciate it.
I want to see Shocker in Homecoming.
Yeah,
I really want to see. Vulture.
He's gonna be like.
I don't want to see Vulture either. These are not two villains that should be in Homecoming.
What was Spider-Man's main villain that hasn't? Maybe they're trying to do something that hasn't been shown.
Kingpin. Rhino.
Oh yeah. Rhino would be dope.
Goblin.
Yeah.
You gotta get Goblin first.
They trolled us. They trolled us with that Rhino and that other movie from the trailer.
That's a fucking ugly ass bootleg Rhino. Oh, I was so mad when I saw that.
I was mad too.
And then they trolled us with the Hobgoblin when they gave us the new Goblin.
Oh yeah.
Goblin Jr. That was an insult, bro.
I'm like, yo, what are you guys doing? Yeah, the first movie, even though the action was, you know, it was like by today's standards of fighting scenes and shit, the first movie was god awful. Cause I watched it the other day and I was like, yo, I enjoyed this shit. But the second movie was so good, like they was on the right track, and it was just downhill from there.
If they bring back Goblin in Homecoming, I hope they just throw him on screen as the Green Goblin, ready to go. We don't need no origin story. We don't need to see Peter Parker talk to his friend. We don't need no background. Just throw him on the screen. We'll recognize him, and then just let it rock that way.
No, like you're about to be disappointed.
I do not want to.
You know they need the background. Because niggas who never heard of Spider-Man gonna go see the movie.
It don't. No, if you don't, I don't. Well, fuck them. If you ain't, if you, yeah, we don't need to be catered to everybody. We don't need to see Uncle Ben again. We don't need to
I
see.
agree with that one. Listen, if you don't know who Uncle Ben is by this movie, then there's no hope for you. He died in like 8 different movies.
And then in Civil War, they just brushed. They didn't have to repeat that old "with great power comes great responsibility" bullshit. You know, I like how he talked around it and basically said it without saying it. And I was okay. This is dope. I like this. You know, I would have heard that.
I kind of like how they got the relationship between Tony and Peter, though. You know what I'm saying? Like the mental aspect.
Mm-hmm.
That happened a little earlier than it should have, but I'll let it rock because it's the end.
Yeah, we'll let that rock. But yeah, when Spider-Man Homecoming comes, if they have to throw Green Goblin, just have Spider-Man fighting somebody else as the main villain, and then Green Goblin flies past and just starts attacking them. He's like, oh shit, you again. And then they start fighting. We don't need no background story or nothing.
I'd like to see a Kingpin.
Kingpin would be dope, but are they trying to connect it to? Are they going to connect it to the Daredevil series?
I hope
it's all connected.
Oh yeah. When you said
dope.
Daredevil, I immediately thought back to Ben Affleck.
Oh no, not him. The Netflix. Yeah, they connect to the Netflix series. That'd be dope. Like use the same guy. Don't cast no new Kingpin.
Ghost Rider is on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now.
Listen. That's all great and everything. Where is Iron Fist? That's what I'm waiting on.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I'm looking at like screen stills of Iron Fist. You see
they
what
keep
he
pushing.
do, but you never see him in the Iron Fist suit. Like I want to see him in the suit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe he don't look good in the suit. But I know the dude they have playing Iron Fist has longer hair than Iron Fist actually has.
Well, it depends on what Iron Fist we're going with, though. I mean, as far as like era.
I want the Iron Fist, nigga.
True. All right, how y'all feel about Blade being? No, hold on. We never finished the discussion about Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah, we didn't even touch on that shit.
Ben Affleck and Christian Bale.
We really not including George Clooney?
Oh no. No.
I thought George Clooney was a good, decent Batman.
What about Adam West?
Who?
Adam West.
Oh, not Adam West.
No.
We can't go back that
No.
far.
That was a mockery, boy. In that case, then you might as well throw in the OG Kevin Conroy from the cartoon.
Jesus. I'll take him before Adam West.
I'll take him before Clooney.
I don't remember Michael Keaton, Batman.
That's the one with the Riddler and the Two-Face.
No.
Oh, I haven't
That's the
seen
one with
that
Joker,
one.
Catwoman, and one.
He was in the one with Riddler and Two-Face as well?
No, that was Clooney, I think. Or was it?
No, but I think Clooney was just Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Clooney was Batman and Robin.
It was Christian Slater then.
Oh, Christian Slater? Are we adding Christian Slater?
No. These niggas don't count, bro. They super purple and black and blue.
But
I like Christian Bale as a Batman and a Bruce Wayne. I thought he was decent.
He didn't look like a Bruce Wayne to me at all.
Nah, he wasn't bulky.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne's like 6'3", 215.
On the game, on the Arkham game, they have him as like 6 feet even and like 200 pounds even. You said what?
I thought he was 6'2" in the Arkham game.
No, I think he's like only 6 feet even.
All right, Daim, why don't you look on the internet real quick, and Funny, why don't you check your game real quick?
Well, I gotta load it up and all that.
Well, we'll talk while you're loading it up.
Batman Arkham game.
But yeah, I like Christian Bale as a Batman minus the whole voice shit. But I wasn't fond of him as a Bruce.
Oh yeah, they have him at 6'2", weight 210 pounds.
See, yeah, like I said, I was off 5 pounds though.
That's not my size. I'm 6'1", 225. I could be Batman. Give me a Batman suit.
No, you can't be Batman.
Yeah, he's 6'2". He's 6'2" in all forms of media.
What's not gonna be Funny? Gonna be swinging from ropes, kicking niggas in faces, talking about you can't defeat this round.
No, I do want to get that Black Panther costume though. I've been looking at that all year.
Just know I will be getting it. I already have the shirts. I have a couple shirts actually.
No, I'm thinking about dropping cash and getting the whole leather. The leather suit.
I'm planning. I'm never gonna wear it though. I want an impacting position.
You gotta wear it.
I'm gonna wear it when I go around. No, never mind. I won't.
No, hold up. No. We keep getting sidetracked.
Oh yeah. The Batman. Yeah.
I would just have to. Like I thought about either getting that suit or getting like a Miles Morales Spider-Man suit. It'd just be like an older version of him. But if I want to do the Black Panther one, but I gotta get an accent down pack. I don't have an African accent.
Well,
I have to try to work on that.
I might have to use a Jamaican accent.
Nigga, we gonna hear that. They gonna be like, come to my Wakandan people is bad. If you bumper clot.
For Wakanda.
They go, like, who are you? I'm Rasta Panther.
Think about, oh no.
You gonna have dreads coming out the back of his mask. Alright.
So, Captain, tell me, now that I am both a Rasta and a king, how long do you think you can keep your friends from me?
Oh no.
I'm not. Hey, I think Affleck is the perfect build. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think he's too big, yo.
Nah.
I think Affleck is too big and too. I mean, if you want to go by the Dark Knight volumes Batman, you know, the one who had to fight Superman and the one who ended up killing Joker, then yeah, Ben Affleck is the perfect Batman because both of those Batmans were freaking huge. But
watch the animated series though.
Huh?
Watch the animated series. Like if you watch the animated series, it kind of
Batman was never that big.
Affleck, he fits it, man.
Affleck is fucking huge.
Let me check this Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is 6'4".
He's 6'4".
How much is he? Yeah, Ben Affleck 6'4".
You know what? Superman is actually supposed to be taller than Batman, to be honest with you.
They have a short Superman. That Superman looks like he's 5'11".
I think he's actually 6 feet even, if I'm not mistaken.
No, 5'11", 6 feet. All right. But how much Ben Affleck weighs, Funny?
And he weighs about 208 pounds.
So he put on some weight for that Batman.
Yeah, he probably did. I'm just going to say what he said, but he usually weighs this.
Like I said, like Batman in the Superman versus Batman was fucking huge.
Yeah,
again,
but you know,
if you wanna compare him to the Batman that ended up fighting Superman in the old ages and Batman who killed Joker at the carnival, they're about the same size. If we're going by the traditional size of Batman, Batman is more slender. He's bigger than Christian Bale, but he's smaller than Ben Affleck. So you know the Michael Keaton's and George Clooney's, that's around their size, around that size.
You know what though? I think Keaton. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But animated series Batman, they did a side by side of like things that Affleck was doing to as far as animated series, you know, like the
I seen the one of the comics where he was doing like the little dive.
Yeah,
I seen that shit.
But I think so far I'm partial to Affleck. Keaton will always be the standard. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I heard Keaton was supposed to be gritty. Like when Tim Burton wanted it, and the dude, I watched a documentary about it, and you know, he was supposed to hold the dude from the roof and be like, "I'm Batman, motherfucker," and then drop him. Yo,
that sounds like Shaft. That sounds like Shaft.
Yo, bro.
You can't be like, I'm Batman. You can't say motherfucker.
Yo, he would drop the dude from the opening scene where he's on the roof and everything, and be like, "What are you?" You know, he's gonna be like, "I'm Batman, motherfucker," and he's dropping from the roof. I was like, "Yo, I would pay money to see that cut of the movie." Did Keaton deliver that line?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, he don't get enough credit for being a.
I shared this this picture that I found, and it's got like all the Batmans, and it's got like their height and weight. And it's like the comic book one. They have like Adam West and his height and weight, and Michael Keaton.
Adam West was like 4'7".
No, he was 6'2". He was 6'2".
Damn, he looks small, nigga. Basically.
No, Adam West is the closest to the comic book one. He's 74 inches, 200 pounds. According to this chart I'm looking at, they got like he's like the closest to Batman. According to the comic book.
Why they got Ben Affleck like a giant though, bro? Like,
I told you, Ben Affleck is huge.
Yo, they got him the biggest one on this list though, bro. Like
I told you I was too big, yo.
But you know what? I can dig it. I want my Batman to be looking like a Batman. I don't want Batman to look like me on stage.
Batman looks like freaking Hulk.
You know that?
They said that Ben Affleck playing Superman. But as far as, you know, I think Michael Keaton is the best Batman. No, I think Ben Affleck is the best of both worlds in terms of Bruce and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Because Christian Bale, I think he's a shitty Bruce Wayne, but a pretty good Batman. I think Michael Keaton.
Also, Batman
a little
was like the. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Michael Keaton was, you know, solid in both. I don't know. I didn't see more from Ben Affleck first though.
Yeah, but I like that this like Ben Affleck's Batman was like a Batman towards like he's been Batman for a while, and he's like getting kind of tired of this BS. So it ain't like the young, fresh Batman. It's like an older Batman.
Yeah, because old Batman was closer to Thomas Wayne than anything.
If you look at his movement, though, like, he has Batman movement. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, flexibility, fighting style. Like, Ben Affleck seems like the ultimate Batman, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like the fighting scene.
I also hate the freaking voice shit for Ben Affleck. I hate that Batman voice shit.
Oh, well, you know, they got to do the Batman voice.
Why they got to do it?
I don't know.
Oh,
because he did have that voice in the cartoon or the game.
And none of the cartoons, yo.
Yeah, I don't get the voice either.
I'm assuming it's so Bruce can better protect his identity. That's what I'm assuming.
We'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that.
But yo, I know Christian Bale had to take a whole bunch of hauls after, you know, all the
Where are they? That boy. Oh man, yeah, I know his voice was hurting.
Where is she?
He said, what he said? I don't even listen. Like, Christian Bale's. The thing I would like to see more from these Batmans, and which I do appreciate from Ben Affleck's Batman, is not.
We don't need Rachel. We don't need no more Rachels. It is like I'm just tired of throwing like love stories into these superhero movies. When you bought a Batman comic book, when I played a Batman video game,
Michael Keaton basically, besides Michael Keaton and Lego Batman, Michael Keaton was actually the shortest Batman there was.
Damn.
So, all right, the closest would be Adam West.
Oh Jesus.
And Val Kilmer.
Read off the names and read off the heights and weight.
You gotta look at the picture to see what we're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
It's by height and weight.
I'll look at it later, but I don't know, man. Not feeling it.
All right, so you got comic book Batman, 74 inches, 210 pounds. Adam West, 74 inches, 200 pounds. So that makes it about.
That nigga was 200 pounds and out of shape.
That's 6'2".
God, he had a gun.
That's 6'2" right there, all right? You got Michael Keaton at an even 6 feet. You got Val Kilmer at...
What's the weight for Keaton?
Keaton was 159 pounds. He was lightweight.
He's 6'2" and 159?
What? 6'2" and 159? How did he? What?
You sure they had a record?
Keaton was 6 feet. Keaton was 6 feet.
Oh, okay, 6 feet and
159 pounds.
Though?
Yeah.
Damn. That man is small.
All right. What else?
You got Kilmer. You know what I'm saying? Who was that? No. My bad. I stand corrected. That would make Keaton 5'11". 5'11".
I mean, it's still the same ballpark. You're 5'11".
5'11".
You got that.
Kilmer was I think 6 feet. Yeah, 6 feet. Clooney was 6'1". Christian Bale.
Wait, what was the weight for Clooney? 6'1", or what's the weight?
172 pounds.
172. Christian Bale. Christian Bale and Kilmer
is light.
Yeah, Christian Bale is actually like a lightweight.
I'm looking at all these.
We can see Christian Bale was a lightweight though. We can see that.
Yeah, we can see
he was 181 pounds. And then you got Ben Affleck.
What's Christian Bale's height?
72 inches, which would make him
6'1". Yeah,
wow, he's actually taller than I thought.
Mm-hmm. And then you got Ben Affleck. I don't know why they got him this tall and this.
6'4".
Yeah. He was he's 6'4". 216 pounds.
See, he don't even look like he's 216. He looked like he about 230, 240.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think though, it's muscle. You know what I'm saying? It's like pure muscle right here. You know, like I mean, the rest of them wasn't as in good. If you look at him, the rest of them wasn't as in good shape as Affleck. You know, like, Affleck really wanted this role. Like he's a comic fan, he's a Batman fan.
I mean, a lot of older roles didn't really require you to have to be in shape. Like, you know, newer generation stuff, you definitely don't have to be in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Even though Affleck is the biggest out of all of them, I think he's the most comic accurate. You know?
I mean, if you listen to the stats, I agree because he's around the weight and he's like 2 inches taller. But if we're doing eye tests, he's too fucking big, yo.
But Adam West was the most accurate out of everybody. He was the most accurate. He was old, but he was the most accurate.
I ain't even taking that seriously, man.
Man, I'm
you the nigga that wanted to put Clooney on the list, though, right?
Clooney was not that bad as a Batman outside of the nipples.
I'm looking at all these weights, like, man, like, what's wrong? What's up with all these under 200-pound Batmans?
Yeah, I appreciate this list, Doc.
I think Clooney, again, if we're doing the eye test, Clooney is around, because you say he was 6'1", 184, right?
Yeah.
Like, the eye test, he's around the height. Like, in the
you know what, though?
Clooney's 5'11". Yeah, Clooney's 5'11", 172 pounds.
Is he 5'11" or 6'1"?
5'11". He's 71 inches, so that's 5'11".
Come on.
Hold on. Is you sure? Are you sure?
Come on.
Yeah, because 72 is 6 feet, so 71 got to be 5'11".
Come on, Dave.
No, hold on.
Come on,
yeah, 6.
Dave.
Yeah, 6 times 12. That's 72.
Oh, Dubai. Oh, Lord.
Hold on. Oh, yeah, you're right. I stand correct. He's 5'11".
Oh, my God, Dubai.
He's 5'11". Hold on.
Nigga don't
know. So that means, hold on.
Don't know his
so
math.
Clooney, hold on. So if Clooney is 5'11".
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please redo all your
how
math.
tall? Michael Keaton was nothing. Like 5'9" then?
5'10". Yeah, Michael Keaton's 5'10".
God Damn, yo.
Oh my God.
Fucking midgets running around as a Batman.
Yo. Oh my God.
These niggas is walking around they Rey Mysterio height.
that's why I said I could be Batman. Like I'm
619 Batman.
Exactly. Like we could be Batman. Akbar, ain't you like 6 feet? Or 61 or some shit?
Yeah, 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, Akbar could be Batman. How much you weigh though?
I'm like 195.
Alright, if you take
need 5 more pounds, 5 more pounds, you could be Batman.
Hold on, if you take George Clooney's look though, like he looks like,
man, I don't trust the camera.
Like,
fuck the look, because they can put a nice suit and make anybody look tall and swole.
No, I'm talking about as far as Bruce. As far as a Bruce would go, he would fit as a Bruce. Like if you take Clooney and you give him the role of Bruce, and then just put Affleck in the Batman suit.
But that really looks like before every fight, Clooney just gonna take steroids.
He on the Venom. That's how they could introduce Venom. You know what I'm saying?
Batman, a Venom addict in his old age.
Hold up. Hold up. There was a comic where Batman was, I think, hooked on Venom or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, after the Batman fiasco, or he hit Venom one time or something like that.
I don't remember that one.
I know that there's been parts.
Yo, Mark Wahlberg is 5'8", bro. Like, who could he play?
He looks short.
Who could he play, though? Like, who could he play in a movie, bro, as far as a superhero?
Shit, I don't even know.
I don't think
maybe Penguin
he can play.
Man Bat.
Leonardo DiCaprio for the next Riddler role. Or Johnny Depp.
No. Yeah, Johnny Depp. I want to go Johnny Depp.
I wouldn't mind
Johnny Depp?
And as far as Man Bat, Mark Wahlberg's too short for Man Bat. Man Bat is fucking tall.
Yeah.
Man Bat is
but they
taller
could
than
CGI.
Batman.
They could CGI Man Bat.
Nah, if we not CGI and Crocodile, I want CGI nothing else.
Oh yeah,
one or the other. CGI.
You're right about that.
CGI nothing.
I feel you on that. I did want to see a bigger. I
want to see a Hulk-like Killer Croc, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Hulk size.
Another Rey Mysterio walking around in the fucking DC. Yo, what is with DC and casting all these short people?
I don't know. I hate. Did you see that? You see how they had Croc doing them push-ups and how he crawled into that sewer? Like,
man, that nigga was humping the ground, bro. That nigga was humping the ground, bro. I don't care what nobody say, man. That didn't even look right, man.
I wish you would have had a little bit more lines. In the
Alright, so that's Robert Langstrom, a.k.a. Man Bat, is 7'4".
God damn. What is he what is he before he gets Man Bat? Like, what's his height just as a regular person?
You're gonna have to cast the great Khali.
Khali, Man Bat.
Why you bullshitting? Khali might be a decent Man Bat.
Yo, there's no database on how tall this man is before he's Man Bat.
I mean, he's shorter than a Batman. He's probably like 5'9", 5'8", 5'10".
I could see Johnny Depp playing the Mad Hatter.
I can see that.
All right, yeah, Johnny Depp as the Man Hatter. And then I actually saw you know the dude who plays Sheldon in Big Bang Theory. I actually saw some fan shit that they wanted him to be Riddler.
I can see that. They also had Neil Patrick.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I actually wouldn't mind the dude in Gotham who plays Riddler. I wouldn't mind him as big screen Riddler.
Cut that one. Yo, I wouldn't even.
Oh yeah.
As far as if they would have casted the dude that played Young Gordon, he probably would have been a dope Batman. Like a younger Batman. And to be honest with you, he's actually done Batman voice in Batman Year One, if I'm not mistaken.
But the Jim Gordon in Gotham, he's too short. He's not big enough, physically.
Yeah, no more small.
Hold on. But y'all acting like he can't bulk up.
But again, he's too short. He doesn't have a Batman build.
True.
Yeah, no more short, tiny Batman.
He's what about Dick Grayson?
He doesn't even have a Bruce build. Jim Gordon doesn't even have a Bruce build. He barely has a Jim Gordon build.
Let's not act like Jim Gordon's the healthiest nigga on earth, though, man.
I'm hoping a young Jim Gordon would be.
Touche.
We've never seen a young Jim Gordon, so we can only assume. But a young Jim Gordon who's passionate about his work that's on the police force, especially with all the problems in Gotham, I would hope he would be in shape.
Yeah.
But that's what I want to see. I want to see Mad Hatter, Riddler. I want to see a Penguin in movies. Like,
honestly, what's his name? Donnie Lovetto? Is that his name?
Danny
DeVito?
Yeah. That was a great Penguin.
Yeah.
Great Penguin. Perfect. He was the right height, you know what I'm saying? The right build. Like everything.
They could bring him back and have him do Penguin again.
Nah. Because you know what? If you look at Gotham, like the Penguin is totally different than like Gotham, you know what I'm saying?
In Gotham, the Penguin is like 6'3" and skinny tall. Yeah, like when I saw that, I was like, yo, what the fuck am I watching? I mean, it's like I like the Penguin in that show. I'm going to like him. It's a good show and stuff, but as far as accuracy, it's like, what the hell?
How short was the Penguin, though?
Penguin was probably like
4'11". That's about 4'11", probably.
I don't think he was no 4'11". That's way too short.
Let me Google. Let me type in.
Yeah.
Arkham Penguin height. 4'10".
We have to think about a red hood and
right. 4'10", 175 pounds.
No wonder they casting these short ass Batmans.
I told you, man. I told you he was what, 4? I said I was off one.
Yeah, you was off one.
And Danny DeVito was 4'10".
Oh wow! Damn, he's that short, yo.
That's
he's legally a midget, right?
Yeah, probably so. 4'10", and he's like 160 to 170. Yep, Danny DeVito is the perfect Penguin.
Wait, hold up. How is Danny DeVito 175 pounds, but we got 6'2", or rather 6 foot or 5'11" George Clooney, 184, Michael Keaton, 5. Like these niggas are literally a whole foot taller than him.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense, yo. I can't even begin to think of anyone who could play a Penguin in today.
Yeah. You know, he would have to be in a bodysuit like how they did John Leguizamo in Spawn. You know, John Leguizamo, like they made him mad shorts in that bodysuit. He played the little bitty clown villain dude. What's his name? Violator.
Honestly, what I want to see from a lot of the new, not new villains, but the movies that are gonna adapt these villains is the Batman take on the villain. Because I think the Batman, the more modern animated series, I thought the writer and author did a great job on those villains, modernizing them and making them more formidable for Batman. Because all his new villains, like, they can throw hands.
Yeah.
So even Joker, Joker will throw hands, man.
Yeah, Joker is some fucking like martial artist in that shit.
The mystery behind this Joker, they said that he had some form of military training. He could have been some sort of mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
That's post-traumatic stress disorder and all these other things. And
that's fucking dope.
And I remember reading something.
And that's a little more realistic.
Yeah, and I remember reading something where where like, it was a line in the movie in The Dark Knight when Joker was like, let's say if a truckload of soldiers blew up, you know, nobody would care because it's all part of the plan. And somebody was like made a theory like that, you know, that can be like Joker's past, like he was like a soldier. And when he referred to that, like what if a truckload of soldiers blew up, like he survived that, and that could play a part to how he is, who he is, kind of.
Because if you look at it, you know what I'm saying, each time he tells his backstory, you know, if you remember the Killing Joke, where he said, if I had an origin story, I prefer it be multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
Each time Heath Ledger Joker told the backstory about his scars, it was a different story behind it.
Yeah, slight variation.
Yeah, you know.
I like that. I wish they would have done it 3 times. They only did like twice.
Yeah, you know, so it was like his father was abusive, and then he put a razor blade in his mouth for a girl, and all that.
Because she got cut by a loan shark. They wanted to show her he didn't care about the scars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean,
that was dope.
I mean, if you think about it,
go ahead.
if you really think about it, like, I mean, if you see the opening scene of the movie,
yeah,
his training, you know what I'm saying? He seemed very like he had some form of training as far as how it went down.
A tactician. He's very smart.
Yeah, like when have we ever seen a Joker, you know what I'm saying, that brilliant? I mean, I'm not gonna say Joker is so insane that he's brilliant.
Yeah, honestly, we constantly see a Joker who does shit that's
quite. But to that degree, though,
yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
In the cartoons, yeah.
In the cartoons.
And in the video game, yeah.
The only difference is in the opening scene of The Dark Knight, he didn't have to go up against Batman. That's why he got the wave for it.
True.
Oh yeah. What did y'all think about the Killing Joke? Like the ending of that.
I read the comic. Me and Dame read the comic a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought it was a unique ending.
So what is beginning?
What is the comic book ending?
Beginning.
Like it's the same thing where, you know, Joker tells a joke and Batman's a bless and just laughs.
Okay. But what is that supposed to mean? It says beginning?
It's the beginning of the movie that really gets me, you know, as far as they made Barbara seem weak and needy and, you know, dependent.
Oh yeah.
Fruits, you know what I'm saying? Like they took her strength away. And I mean, I kind of get people's gripe with that, but as far as the ending goes, like
what did that mean?
It shows the kind of twisted connection that Batman and Joker had. And it's the first time Batman has ever laughed. Like nobody's ever seen Batman laugh. The Joker actually got Batman to laugh.
Like you see Batman, you know, in different shows or whatever, you know, a chuckle here and there. But here he's basically busting a lung laughing.
His mortal enemy at that made him laugh. You know what I'm saying?
And also, you know, earlier in the movie. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like a person, he says, he especially when he walks in, and he's like, "This gotta stop. You know, either you want to kill me or I'm going to kill you." And then the person that that you went to damn near hell with, you know what I'm saying, in different variations of battles and everything, sits there and tells you a joke, and you crack a rib. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like your worst enemy makes you laugh.
And you know, I think that kind of helps the dynamic of the characters throughout the history of them. Because you know, there's the like early in the movie, he went to go talk to Joker, you know, try and stop, you know, what he felt was inevitable. Mm-hmm. Then there was a time, you know, Joker killed Robin and he was overcome with emotion. And, you know, there was that beatdown, but he didn't cross the line. And then this joke between them shows how much Batman really wants to help Joker and how much Joker really needs Batman. Because as many jokes as Joker has ever told in the shows, comics, no one's ever laughed. I think Batman is the only person to ever laugh. It really shows how connected and how much Joker needs him. Like, even we see later on when Batman retires, Joker goes into a state of like shock and, almost like an identity crisis. He doesn't know what to do with his life anymore. He stops committing crimes. He checks into like a mental facility and all that. And he's not himself anymore. And only when, Batman comes back does Joker reappear.
They need each other, basically. And it's kind of like, what Heath Ledger's Joker told Batman, like, you won't kill me because you might,
Other way around. I won't kill you because I need you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stand corrected. Yeah, but yeah, it's like it's like yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? Like you got good and you got evil, and they both need each other to balance each other out. Because I think Joker's a constant reminder of, to Batman of what he could be if he let go.
And then another thing to take into consideration, like, they're really polar opposites. Like, even on, like, even with their colleagues, they're viewed the same. Like, all of Joker's colleagues, all the other villains, they don't like Joker. If they could avoid working with him, they would. They don't trust Joker. And it's kind of the same thing with Batman, where a lot of people, feel Batman doesn't put enough trust in the team. They don't really find it ideal working with him and all that shit. So it's really like they're the same person but in different realms.
Yeah. Yeah, and Batman Bruce is kind of crazy, man. Like, if you think about it, man, like, there's some, even Joker said it once, like, how crazy and destroyed of a person do you have to be to dress up as a big bat? You know what I'm saying? like, how messed up in the head are you? And in the backstory, you see how traumatized Bruce is. His parents died in front of him. You know what I'm saying? He has a fear of bats. He falls into a cave. He embraces that fear of bats, but it's still, like his whole life is, he's more Batman than he is Bruce, basically.
Yeah, throughout Batman's history, you see, him basically having an identity crisis where Bruce is more the disguise than Batman is.
With going back to the ending of the Killing Joke, like I've read some theory about like the joke itself, about like the prisoners and shit, and then I kind of thought it was interesting, but somebody was saying like that joke symbolizes the Joker and Batman themselves being the prisoners, where they both had traumatic experience and they was trying to break away from it. And Batman has like made that cross already. Like he's a good citizen, he's functioning, he's normal, and he's trying to reach out to Joker to be like, hey, come across, it's safe. And then when the prisoner says, oh, you're just gonna cut it off anyway, to him that's like an illogical rationale to him not being sane or him not getting across. And that parallels to Joker's way of you reaching out to me. It's not gonna work. It's illogical in this sense. So I thought that was interesting, maybe a little reachy, but
no, that's definitely an interesting take. But
so we came to the conclusion that we can't judge enough of Leto's Joker to say
not the second worst Joker I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I want to see more of him. It was interesting enough to where I do want to see more of it.
I'm interested to see how he does.
I think he was dealt a bad hand. He didn't have much screen time. Didn't have any lines. you know, he obviously took the role serious, but, you know, the directors are people who give you the lines and tell you what to do, and then the editors do the cuts and all that.
Okay, he was talking all that good shit. So he saw the lines he was getting, and everyone talking all that good shit.
But I don't know what the full script was, because they cut out a lot of scenes. So he probably had some shit, and he was probably looking at his script like, okay, you know what, this could work, And then when they cut, because remember they shot the movie and then they went back and made a bunch of changes to it.
They lightened it up a little bit. It was supposed to be
they made it a little bit more. They made it a little bit more funnier, and then they added some Batman in there. So
Batman didn't even need to be in there, to be honest.
Yeah,
I liked it. I liked it. I could dig it. They're making a connection.
Yeah, I mean, they still could have made the connection. They could have said, yo, I mean, they're in Gotham. You know, I'm like, oh, Batman lives in Gotham. I mean,
yeah, true. Yeah, but if they would have mentioned Gotham.
Here's my question. All right, so you put Batman in the movie, right? So we know, you know, this is Gotham. He's in Gotham. All this shit is going down in the city. Where the fuck is Batman? You got helicopters getting blown out the sky.
That's a good point.
Torn down. A whole bunch of people turn into zombies.
What they could do is, if they make Joker have his own movie, kind of, they could make the timeline parallel, where Joker's wreaking havoc in a city. Oh yeah, you could have like Joker wreaking havoc in a city, and he teamed up with somebody. Actually, Joker be like a side villain or something. You could have the main villain be like a major threat to Earth. Joker comes in, he's wrecking a bunch of shit in the city, and some other villains in there. And then Batman is busy with that. And then you show a scene where Batman's like, all right, I got to go get Harley Quinn. And it shows that these movies are like parallel to each other.
So while the world is in danger,
the world is also in danger.
Waller decides to send the Suicide Squad, like, to basically, because Wally, you know, she talks to the president and all that shit. She's dealing with what would be a more minor problem compared to, like, I don't see her focusing on something like that when the world is in danger elsewhere. Like, that just doesn't add up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know, maybe there's like another threat that's coming that Batman only sees or Superman sees only. Well, I don't know.
Superman's dead.
Yeah, allegedly. I don't know.
Batman was recruiting Aquaman and the Flash during the Suicide Squad.
Stop it. Batman's not wasting his time to talk to fucking Wally West and all these niggas. Wow.
Hold on. No. Don't you disrespect the Flash. This is Barry Allen, bro. Not Wally West. They haven't reached Wally West yet, bro. You just gonna disrespect the Flash like that, bro? You went straight to Wally, bro. Oh no.
Yo, but it's like, and then even with Funny's idea with Joker fighting the Batman elsewhere, the Joker eventually meets up with the Suicide Squad. So Batman will eventually meet up with the Suicide Squad.
I think they should have did the Suicide Squad movie the way they did Assault on Arkham.
Assault on Arkham, where Batman was part of it. Even though he was in a huge part of it, he was still parts of it continuously throughout the movie.
Yeah, and then you got, you know, the showdown between, you know, Batman and Joker and Deadshot and all that, and, you know, like, that was a good. I mean, that they should have done it like that. Like DC animation, like they really get it right. They understand.
Mhm.
And then, you know, fucking alive DC, you wanna cast 4'11" Batmans and shit.
Alright, so how do we feel about?
Yeah, I want to see more of Jared. I want to see more of Jared Leto.
How do we feel
I don't
about
know.
Tony Stark himself, though? Robert Downey Jr. retired.
Oh, I like it. You know what he said? I read an article. He said he was retiring, and then after Civil War, I remember seeing another article talking about some. Yeah, you know, I could see myself doing an Iron Man 4, Like, nigga, which one is it? I don't know.
I don't want an Iron Man 4 because, I mean, who else can Tony Stark go up?
What else who else was the villains? I didn't like
I mean, the way they did Mandarin, boy, that was offensive, bro. That was offensive, man. Like, they crapped on Mandarin. Made him. Like, Mandarin is like the go-to villain for, Iron Man, and they shitted on him, man, literally.
What other villains did what other villains did Iron Man have?
That's like they would have to, like, if they do another Captain America movie. Like, who else could Captain America fight? They would have to bring Red Skull back.
Yeah.
Like Captain America and all these goddamn Avenger movies.
Well, he's
that's why
Avenger movie. He's Captain America.
This is why they have to do Civil War the way they did it. You know what I'm saying? Because what other villains did he have? You know what I'm saying? To fight.
Yeah.
You know.
They're gonna need to get a Hulk right eventually. Get a Hulk solo movie and everything, because heroes fighting the Hulk is a big part of Marvel. Hulk need to play with everyone at least once.
I mean, they're doing Ragnarok, man. So doing Ragnarok.
They say Hulk is in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hulk is in that. Hulk is in Ragnarok. So it's they said Civil War almost had Red Hulk.
Why did
that would
they
have been
do that?
That would have been dope.
Why did they do that?
Civil War almost had Red Hulk and somebody else.
That's what I thought they were gonna have, because General Ross was in there. I thought it was gonna be like, as he's telling them not to do shit, he's going back in his lab trying to figure out the serum again and trying to fix Abomination or some shit, and then he ends up making himself. That's what I thought they were going with that.
And you know what? He talked about all this destruction and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wanted to see Red Hulk.
You know what happened in Sokovia, what happened in New York and everything. Not once did he take responsibility for what the shit that he did in Harlem with Abomination. He created Abomination.
I would have been the first one with that remote. I was like, hold on, what happened in that city with Abomination?
Tony Stark was in that movie, bro. He was at the end credit.
Yeah, that's true.
The movies is linked together. You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. But they changed the Hulk now. That's not even the same Hulk.
But it still fits the story.
It's still Bruce. Though.
That's not even the same Bruce.
It's still the same. Okay, they changed the Hulk, but it's still the Hulk for their universe, bro.
Right. It's kind of like how they replaced Terrence Howard as War Machine.
But
that's still the same Jim Ross.
I like consistency.
It's still the same Jim Ross from the Hulk movie. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only consistency. The least important
still though, like, they could have hit him with the rebuttal, like, what about Harlem?
People be like, what are you talking about? Hulk was a
out.
My Hulk is different. That doesn't look like Hulk to me. What are you talking about, Tony? You photoshopping, Tony?
The most accurate Hulk, though, was that Hulk.
Yes, it was.
As far as build, look, color, everything. Like, that was the most accurate Hulk.
Even though I still thought it was a little slim, but I agree.
I don't have nothing against Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. I'm not a fan of his Hulk.
I just don't like him as Bruce.
He's too ape-like. If you look at this Hulk, he's too ape-like.
Again, I don't mind that. I can live with it. I just don't like him as Bruce.
I don't care about him as Bruce. He can do whatever he want to do as Bruce. I want to see Hulk. I don't want to see Bruce Banner at all.
I don't like the relationship between him.
Like Iron Man 3. Like Iron Man 3 had a lot of Tony Stark and not so much Iron Man.
Black Widow.
Why is it? I meant to say Black Widow, but I confuse I mix because her name is Scarlett Johansson, Scarlet Witch.
And you hate her because you call her a witch.
Yeah, I don't like Scarlett Johansson. I don't.
What? You don't like Scarlett Johansson? Why not?
Okay, one, she got a Biggie lazy eye. R.I.P. Biggie.
No. Okay, what's two?
She's overhyped.
You said she's what?
Overhyped.
What? How was Scarlett was supposed to? Let me look at that.
Not overhyped. Overhyped.
Oh,
Overrated.
Yes. Well, you know what? She's one of the few. How many women are in these Marvel movies? Not that. It's Scarlet Witch's people.
Yeah, no. Another thing that bothered me, if we go back to Batman versus Superman, Wonder Woman drops down. Superman looks at Batman and be like, "Is she with you?"
I thought she came with you.
Nigga, you just got through emailing this girl. You was talking and you danced with her at a party, bro. Like, you had all her information and everything, bro. And like all of a sudden, now you don't know her.
He's faking. He's faking.
I didn't get it, man. I thought she was with you. Nigga.
I hated those emails. I hated that email scene.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say that.
I was like, oh boy, look at him. Try to rush.
Have a fucking mullet.
They try to
flash black hair and a mullet. I was so mad.
They fucking just said, all right, we're gonna make Justice League movie next. We're gonna throw this scene in here and that's all. Bam, here we go. Like what?
All right. What do y'all think about the look of Cyborg?
I could live with that. Alright, I could live with that.
What about Flash suit?
If we talking about in the Justice, it wasn't in the Justice. I mean in the Batman vs Superman movie, but Flash suit looks good.
I think it looks too like mech-like. You ask me, man.
Listen, I think it looks more like give the nigga his yellow theater.
I think if you made it more like Batman suit or Superman suit, you know, they could do it.
Oh yeah.
Like why I gotta look mech-like? You know what I'm saying? It looks robotic-like.
What about the suit in the Suicide Squad?
What suit?
Yeah, he was I forgot.
Yeah, they threw him in Suicide Squad for Flash.
I must not have liked that movie, but I do not remember that at all.
What? When it was talking about Boomerang.
Oh yeah, now I remember. I don't even think Captain Boomerang should have been in that movie, even though he is part of the Suicide Squad.
What? No, they did him decent. He
didn't.
He wasn't bad.
He was just a random dude. I forgot he was in the movie half the time.
First of all, it's Captain Boomerang. It's a nigga throwing boomerangs. You don't expect much from that.
That's one of Flash's main villains, though.
You know when they put a nigga named Slipknot in there. And you don't
I'm glad they killed Slipknot off.
You don't give it. You know he's just there to die.
I'm glad he died.
It was just like on Arkham. They had that one old dude. Who the hell is this? And then they killed him. I guess he wasn't that important.
Yep, kill these useless folks off. When they bought him up, it was Slipknot with the ability to climb anything. I was like, oh no, no.
Spider-Man, like.
And then I was just praying like, oh my God, I hope they don't like have to force a scene where they make him important. Like, oh my God, how are we gonna get here? They're like, don't worry, guys, I got this.
Nah, no. If you look though, he was important. He was there to show them like yo. You will die.
Die for the I was just saying, I'm glad like they didn't get to no obstacles. Like shit, how we gonna get across? He's like, don't worry, I'm gonna tie a knot. And he fucking ties a knot, and they all get across. I was hoping that scene wasn't
perfect. He went perfect for that scene when Harley was from the helicopter and Amanda told Deadshot to shoot her. And like after Deadshot didn't shoot her, he just like hooked the line to her and like hit her with the scorpion. Get over here.
No. I'm so glad. I am glad that he was killed. I don't want to see no damn Slipknot.
This movie had a lot of Harleys and a lot of Deadshot. It basically was Harley Point and Deadshot. It was Harley Point and Deadshot featuring the rest of
the Pips. Featuring the Pips.
Yeah. It was their movie. They could have just did a movie with them. You know what I'm saying? There was no Joker. There was no Batman. There was no Suicide. It was
there was Suicide.
Squad. Yes, I got it. And that Diablo, he killed himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Suicide right there.
The movie should just be called Squad.
Squad.
I'm surprised nobody got Waka Flocka to do like, you know, a theme song for that shit.
No.
Flocka. Squad. That'd have been lit, man. I think they tried to add too much. They tried to make it like Deadpoolish but Avengerish at the same time. Like this was the Avengers.
That's a bad clash. That's a bad clash. Deadpool, even though there's two great movies, that's a bad clash.
But yeah, one or the other.
Alright, if we rate the Avengers movies, right? We do Avengers 1, 2, 3, and for the sake of an argument, let's throw Captain America Civil War in there. How do we rate these movies? Which one was better?
Boy, did you say 1, 2, 3, and Captain America?
Civil War. Because, I mean, basically it's the biggest movie if you look at it.
Yeah. Okay, the first Avenger movie was with Loki.
Yeah.
The second one was from Ultron.
Yeah.
What was the third one?
He was just basically saying Captain America was the third one.
It sounded like to me he was saying there was
my count was off. Count was off one. I stand corrected. 1, 2, Captain America Civil War.
I was going to say I missed the whole movie and nobody told me.
Yeah. But we're trying to rank these.
Yeah, let's rank them and say which ones are better.
Oh man,
Think of an argument.
We can rank them.
And that's a tough ranking too, because that was 3 good movies.
They were all great.
I would put the first Avengers was. I mean, I put that at 1, Civil War at 2, Ultron at 3. All because they shitted on Quicksilver.
Damn. Yeah. I think they didn't they kill him off just because the other the X-Men he had.
This is the fastest man in the universe, bro. And he just taken out. But how are you not faster than a speeding bullet, man? How?
I don't know. He should have been. I didn't want him to get killed off.
I remember I asked this question. They said, well, you know, he was running at top speed and he grabbed him, but he had to move them carefully because he didn't want them to get whiplash and a whole bunch of other bullshit. And I said, nigga, you reaching for the skies.
Nah, but doesn't he have a healing factor? I know the Flash has a healing factor. You know what I'm saying? Barry Allen is coming back from bullet, breaking bones and all that. Like, I mean,
I don't recall him. Maybe he does. I don't know. I mean, it seems like everyone in the fucking Marvel universe got a healing factor.
How y'all rank?
I don't even know if I can rank them. I guess, you know, I'm just gonna put them in. I'm gonna rank them in the order. I'm gonna go with Avengers 1, then 2, and then Civil War, because the later ones, like, because you need the first one in order for the others to be as great, because they kind of play off the story. I like the first one for like them putting together the Avengers and like everything that happened in that movie. I thought that was dope. But then it just picked up right where like Thor left off at. I thought that was great. And then the second one, I didn't like how they did Ultron. I wish they would have brought in Ant-Man before Ultron, you know, to keep it close to the comic books. But I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it for what it was. I wish they would have kept that scene where Vision was fighting the Avengers in the beginning. I mean, not in the beginning, but
about this scene a million times. It makes no sense.
When he first woke him up and he was fighting him a little bit, I liked it. They should have kept it over
here fighting, and then Thor smacks him, and then he just flies to the wall, and then they just stop fighting.
Maybe they could have probably figured out a different reason for them to stop fighting. I don't know. They could have. I wanted to see Vision like initially be bad.
Why you
Like
have
he wasn't.
Civil War at 3 though? Like why? Like what was wrong with Civil War?
I just put them in order just because if it was because I'm looking at it like if for like a first timer was to watch these movies, Civil War would be very confusing to them.
Was very confusing. I think they missed. They would catch a couple of shit. I don't think it'd be very confusing.
Nah, you can't jump into Civil War. You gonna be confused.
I think for a comic book fan, Civil War was just more confusing. I think a regular person would really get it.
Yeah, because Civil War. I know.
I'm used to so many people dying in actual Civil War comic books. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Goliath.
Civil War is the greatest thing that ever happened.
Thor was dead at that time.
They killed Goliath. They killed 200. I think it was 216 students.
Yeah.
Captain America died.
Even like the new Warriors, like that's what Marvel was missing, like the new Warriors. You know what I'm saying? If they'd had that established before Civil War,
but you could honestly, you could have just put that in because it's not like the new Warriors are that big a Marvel group where they need their own movie. You could easily just put that little side part into the movie or something. Or you could have, even over time, you could have sneaked it in. Like, because in Marvel movies, there's always a TV show. And the New Warriors have their own little TV show. So you could have snuck that in on the TV. Oh, yeah, or even a Netflix series. Yeah, they're a Netflix series type group. They're not a movie, like their own movie type group. But
yeah.
Well, yeah.
How do you rank them up?
Yeah. I'm going the second one first, Age of Ultron. Because I actually, even though, like Doc said, I would have preferred they had Ant-Man, they created Ultron the proper way and all that shit. I still appreciated that Ultron. Kind of the same way I appreciate Dark Knight's Bane, even though it lacked the venom and shit.
I like Ultron, but the thing is, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like Ultron really did a lot of damage. Like in the comic books, the Age of Ultron shit, like they was missing a lot of shit. They were missing Wolverine. I know, yeah, but I get it with it. But I got so many gripes with Age of Ultron movie. You know what I'm saying? But proceed.
Yeah, I got mine too. But the reason why I love a lot of The Rock is because at the end when just Ultron and Vision, we don't see Vision clearly destroy Ultron. So that's just kind of like a cliffhanger and stuff. Like they could possibly bring him back improved,